And then let me see if I can get. Okay, perfect. All right. So first, what were your thoughts when you first read the memo where it said no client list of Jeffrey Epstein's exists?
It's true. There is no client list of Jeffrey Epstein's, and the Department of Justice is not suppressing anything. And I never said they were. There are two judges who are suppressing very relevant information, including the names of people who have been accused and also information about the accusers. And the judges are doing it to protect selectively certain people. And the Justice Department is not at fault here. They have disclosed, as far as I know, everything they have. I, from day one, called for everything to be disclosed, but a couple of judges have refused to do it. Let me tell you what I've seen, so we'll be very clear. I have seen a redacted FBI report, which includes the names of people accused and also accusers. I've seen that. Now, that's redacted. The names have been taken out. We have asked judges to unredact it. They have refused to because they want to protect the people whose names are in there. The public has the right to know those names. So there's no client list. That's a creation of the media. There is a redacted FBI report and other documentation, some of which involves people who are accused, some of which involves people who are accusers. And I've called for both of them to be made public.
Now, you said that you know some of the names of the people accused. Should those names be released? Does the public have a right to know
Sure.
at this point?
Sure, as long as also the names and information about the accusers is released. So everything should be known. What shouldn't be done is we shouldn't have a situation where the accusers are held confidential and the accused names are released. And the information that would prove, for example, that some of the accusations may be false, that shouldn't be withheld. As long as everything is turned out, we have transparency. And then people who are accused, as I was, have the right to defend themselves by showing documentary evidence. And so that's the way it should be. Everything should be out there. And from day one, I have said I want everything out there, every videotape, every FBI report, every interview note, everything should be out there. Right now, we have selective disclosure. It's not the fault of the Justice Department. It's the fault of two judges.
And you know who those two judges are?
I do.
Can you tell me where they are?
They are in federal court in New York.
Okay. Is there anything else regarding the memo, the July memo, that you think might not be completely accurate? I mean, I think nobody probably knows more about this, the ins and outs of this situation probably than you. So is there anything else regarding specifically that, you know, no documents or sorry, no list or nothing was used as blackmail by Jeffrey Epstein? Do you agree with that?
I don't know whether he used anything to blackmail anybody. I know that he did tell me on at least one occasion that I didn't have to worry about a certain person, Leslie Wexner, who might have testified against him because he had a lot of stuff on Leslie Wexner. That was one instance where you might call it blackmail. I know of no other instances of blackmail, but that was one where Jeffrey Epstein himself told me that he didn't have to worry about that particular person because he had a lot of information about him. He may have had that on other people as well, too. I just don't know.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in that prison cell?
I think it's likely. I don't believe Epstein would have ever wanted to spend his life, which was a life lived in luxurious palaces and airplanes in a rat-infested cell. The thing that makes me a little suspicious is that he had a very strong bail motion that was pending in a week after he committed suicide. And I would have thought that he would at least await the outcome of that bail motion. But, you know, I just don't know what went into his mind. I know one thing. If he did commit suicide, he did it with the help of prison authorities. So he couldn't have done it by himself. there are too many things that happened. Too many cameras got turned off. His cellmate was reduced, eliminated from the prison. The guards fell asleep. There are too many acts that would appear that they can't be coincidental. So my best guess, I didn't know Epstein at that point. I hadn't had a relationship with him for years, but my best guess is that he did commit suicide. He tried earlier, failed. Then he did commit suicide, but paid off some people from the prison to make sure that he could accomplish what he set out to do. That's my belief.
Do you believe the Trump administration is being fully transparent with what they've disclosed so far? Or do you think they're withholding any sort of documents or information regarding this case?
No, they've been absolutely transparent. They have nothing to hide. Everything about Trump himself has been previously disclosed. I think the people who are failing to disclose information are federal judges and perhaps others, maybe some others as well. But I don't see any blame that can be placed on the Justice Department. You know, it's so easy for the media to point fingers and say, Justice Department's at fault. There's a client list. It's being suppressed. That all overstates it. It's much more complicated and nuanced than that. There is information being withheld. It's being withheld by judges. I'd like to see all that information disclosed, full and complete transparency, both about people who are accused, but also about the accusers as well, so that the public and the court of public opinion can make a fair assessment, as they have in my case, as to whether or not the accusations were accurate. Remember, too, that not all accusations prove to be accurate, and we do have a presumption of innocence, and we ought to live by that presumption of innocence, and that means full and complete transparency.
How do we get a hold of that information that's being withheld right now from those judges?
I think the media has to go to the judges and make applications, and I think they would be granted, if not by the judges, by the appellate courts. I don't see why the media hasn't been more active in trying to get the judges to disclose all the information that is now under seal or under redaction. But again, don't blame the Justice Department. I think that they've disclosed everything that they have, but they don't have everything. When a judge seals material, it seals it from the government as well as from the private litigants and the private lawyers like me.
Do you have the names of those judges?
I'm not comfortable about disclosing, but I think you could look them up and you'll find out who the judges are, who had the cases that involved this, and you can read their motions and you'll see their motions and their decisions say, we're not disclosing this, we're not disclosing that. And the media ought to be more aggressive in going after those failures to disclose because that's where the responsibility lies.
And so again, as far as you know, Jeffrey Epstein never kept a client list.
I know that he never kept a client list. If he had, I'm pretty confident he would have told me about it. And after all, you know, I was one of his lawyers. I wasn't his lawyer at the time of the allegations about the client list, but I think I would have known. And I don't know about videotapes. I was hoping there were videotapes. That would be the best exculpatory evidence for me if there were videotapes of people, and I was not included among them. But you know, there was an FBI list of people who were accused, and I was not on that list. And there were others who were on the list. And I see no reason at this point in time for there to be selective censorship. There ought to be full and complete disclosure. But what I would be opposed to is disclosing just the names and information about those who were accused without equally exposing information and the names of those who made the accusations so that the public can assess whether the accusations are true or false. That's the American way.
Pam Bondi, specifically Attorney General, and even President Trump himself, they're getting a lot of criticism right now for how they've handled this whole case. Is any of that criticism fair in your view?
No, I don't think so. I think that Pam Bondi had a lot of information on her desk. And after it was assessed and evaluated, she turned out everything that she could. And it turned out there wasn't as much there as the media hoped for. So, no, I don't think that Pam Bondi or the president can be criticized for this. I do think that some of the judges can be criticized for this.
Anything else that you want to add before I let you go?
I think I've said what I need to say. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. And Where's my question?